What if the most important trial in this case hasn't even started yet? Before a jury is seated, before a verdict is spoken, before a single witness takes the stand, the fate of this case may already be hanging in the balance. Because in this courtroom, the battle is not over guilt or innocence. It's over whether the evidence itself should exist. 4 lives were taken in a quiet college town. A suspect was arrested, but now, in 2025, the loudest arguments aren't about what happened, they're about how we know what we think we know. If the DNA evidence falls apart, does the case fall with it? In the early morning hours of November 13, 2022, 4 University of Idaho students were found stabbed to death inside an off-campus home in Moscow, Idaho. Kaylee Gonsalves, 21, outgoing, ambitious, weeks away from starting a new chapter. Madison Mogan, 21, social, grounded, deeply connected to her friends. Xana Kernol, 20, energetic, close to her family. Ethan Chapin, 20, a freshman, visiting his girlfriend that night. They were students, friends, children. Their deaths shattered a town that prided itself on safety and sent shockwaves far beyond Idaho. 6 weeks later, police arrested Brian Kohberger, a 28-year-old criminology PhD student at Washington State University. On paper, he seemed unlikely, academically focused, quiet, living alone. But the arrest raised an unsettling contrast. A man studying criminal behavior, now accused of committing one of the most disturbing crimes in recent memory. And yet, as the case moved toward trial, the focus shifted away from who he was to how the case against him was built. November 13, 2022, Moscow, Idaho. Police respond to a 911 call reporting an unconscious person. Inside the home, they discover 4 victims, all fatally stabbed. The crime scene offers few immediate answers. No murder weapon is found. No clear suspect emerges. Late November to December 2022, investigators begin reviewing surveillance footage, cell phone data, and forensic evidence. A key detail surfaces. A knife sheath recovered at the scene containing a single source of male DNA. December 30th, 2022. Brian Kohberger is arrested in Pennsylvania after a cross-country investigation. Authorities allege his DNA matches the sheath. His cell phone data places him near the home. A white Hyundai Elantra links him to the area. 2023 to 2024. Kohberger pleads not guilty. The case enters pre-trial motions, a phase often invisible to the public, but critical. By 2025, the spotlight shifts almost entirely to the DNA evidence and the methods used to obtain it, because this is no longer just a murder case. It's a test of modern forensic boundaries, and the outcome could reshape how evidence is used nationwide. Theory 1, the prosecution's case. A digital and DNA trail. Prosecutors argue the evidence forms a coherent narrative. DNA on the knife sheath, cell phone movement patterns, surveillance footage of a vehicle matching Kohberger's car. They maintain the DNA is reliable, lawfully obtained, and scientifically sound. If true, the case is straightforward. But is it? Theory 2, the defense. Questioning the DNA itself. The defense challenges how the DNA was identified, specifically the use of investigative genetic genealogy. They argue the original identification relied on genetic databases not designed for criminal prosecution. The process lacks transparency. The defense was denied full access to how the match was developed. If the DNA trail is ruled improper or incomplete, does the cornerstone of the case collapse? Theory 3, the broader implication. Science moving faster than the law. This case isn't just about Kohberger. It's about whether courts can keep up with evolving forensic technology. At what point does innovation cross into constitutional risk? And who decides where that line is drawn? The legal battle plays out in motions, filings, and closed-door hearings, often more intense than a trial itself. Prosecutors defend their methods. The defense demands disclosure. Judges weigh precedent against possibility. Meanwhile, media coverage intensifies. Some view Kohberger as a calculated killer hiding behind academia. Others see a system testing the limits of due process. Families of the victims watch closely, hope and fear intertwined. For them, this is not an academic debate. It is about accountability. But delays stretch on, hearings multiply, and the question lingers. If the evidence is strong, why does it need to be defended so aggressively? And if it's flawed, why was it trusted in the first place? Will the DNA evidence survive judicial scrutiny? Will key material be excluded before a jury ever hears it? And if the foundation cracks, what remains? Justice depends on truth, but truth depends on trust. And right now, that trust is being tested in ways few cases ever have. Long before a verdict, every trial tells a story. Sometimes that story is about the crime. Sometimes it's about the system judging itself. As this case moves forward, one thing is certain. The most important decision may come before the trial even begins. Share your thoughts below. Subscribe for continued coverage. And ask yourself, when science accuses, who is really on trial?